This is the 21st episode of my collections. Like, yeah, how good is it? Like, how good is it? We're going to be having a look at 3 Phantom comic books from, I think, 2018. We're going to be having a look at 3 Phantom comic books from 2018. We've got The Shadows Over Spyglass, number 1817. We've got The Red Zone, number 1819. It's also signed by Jamie Johnson, which is awesome. And we've also got a very, very special 70th anniversary special of Cy Barry, and it's few 70 years anniversary. It's got 2 classics from Lee Falk and Cy Barry, and plus 2 brand new sequels, and it's number 1820. So let's have a look. It's 36 pages long. It first came out in 2018, and the story was wrote by Ray Murphy, and the art was provided by Joan Boyce. And it was first published by Egmont Scandinavian number 20 on number 2017. In 2017, number 2017. Come on, Brad. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I have not pulled this book out for a very, very long time. I have not pulled this book out since 2018. Seriously, I have not pulled it out since 2018. Don't understand. Later. Who sent you? I'm not one of the Herbert's lapdogs, okay? That's all you need to know. I think in one sense I actually miss looking and knowing that Klaus Ray Murphy is still alive. I think because he passed away a couple of years ago, and I've said this before on the channel, it's a massive loss. It's a complete massive loss to be losing someone so influential in comics, so influential in the Phantom. Like, he played his own role. He played his own role in writing Phantom stories for people like myself to enjoy. He played his own role, and he played very, very well. I can say that right now. Okay, we've also got The Heart of Darkness Part 7. That's also by the same people. Same creative team. So, yeah, I think Joan Boyce is one of the best. He is one of the best. He's got to be one of the best. This has got to be. Look at all these pages. Look at all these inked pages. Like, imagine how much work that would have went in. Imagine how much work that would have went into that. Doing that. I think yes, with everything has its amount of work that you got to put into it that you're wanting. So yeah. Red Zone, Jamie Johnson cover. He signed it a couple of years ago, and his art is amazing. I still love his art. I think there's only one cover that I wasn't happy with, but it's starting to grow on me. But it's still one of those covers where I'm a little bit with it. I'm a bit like 50-50, a bit bench seat Ben. I'm like a bit bench seat Sam. Bench seat Sam. Bench seat Ben. Okay. So we got the Red Zone comic. It is stories by Bishop and Roots. First published by Egmont in 2017. Artwork in this story. Amazing. Okay, so one thing I've got to say about this series is that when I have a look at these books in this series, I'm not reviewing these books as a sense. I'm not going out and reviewing these books just because I can. I'm looking at these books because they are part of my collection. There was once a time where I would go down to the news agency. I would go down to the news agency of a Thursday afternoon, either it be Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning, whatever. I'd go down to the news agency, I'd go and get my latest Phantom comic, and I would be so excited to get it. I would be so excited to get it. I would be straight back. I'd be at home. I'd be sitting in my own old green armchair, or any chair for that matter, and I would be reading the latest Phantom comic that would have came out. I'd get the Phantom comic, I would sit down and I would just read it. I would just read it from back to front, from front to back. And I love it. I love reading Phantom comics. It's just who I am. I love it. When I have a look at these books, there's sort of like, for one sense, with the My Collections episodes and the series, it's nostalgia for me. It's also nostalgia for the next person alongside of me. And it's also nostalgia for you if you feel that way. But when I get these books out, I do not review them as a sense. These videos that I do on this series, they're not reviews. They're just having a look at some Phantom comics, kicking back, having a look at some Phantom comics, having a look at the good old days, and having a look at some of the stuff that I've got in my collection. Like, this is the 21st episode of this series, so if you could say all 21 episodes, including this one, are reviews, I would say not so much. I don't think that the stuff that I do in this series are reviews. I don't think that is correct. I just like looking at Phantom comics. That's just who I am. I look at the art, I appreciate the art, I look at the story, I read the story, I read certain panels sometimes, and I appreciate the story, I appreciate the art, and I appreciate just looking at them. I've read them in the past. This story I actually remember quite fondly, and I think at the time that I was reading this story, I think I quite liked it. I think I quite liked it. I loved it. I think I quite liked it. I think it's I roughly remember that it's based in New Zealand and there was some sort of earthquake or something. And at the time that Jamie Johnson was illustrating the cover, I think there was a year or so apart, there was another movie that featured, I think, The Rock Johnson. The Rock. Dwayne Rock Johnson. And he was on a skyscraper. I think it was Skyscraper, that movie was called. And he was like, hold on for dear life. And that Jamie said that would have been the best reference shot to get. And it came out, of course it came out afterwards of when the actual comic book came out. That's the story there. And that artwork is just, the artwork in that story alone is phenomenal. The story, it's phenomenal in parts. If you're... Oh, what? Oh, no. Hang on a sec. Oh, okay. I'm going to like a misprint there. Production print. Okay, we've got The Heart of Darkness. Talk a little bit about this. Joan Boyce, to his best. At his best, actually. I reckon The Heart of Darkness and anything around this time period, around the late 90s, that Joan Boyce was doing his work on with this story, I think it's some of the best Joan Boyce artworks and Joan Boyce storyline that we've seen from him. Now, I could be wrong. If you have a favorite Joan Boyce story, or if you have a favorite saga that he has worked on, comment those suggestions down below. And that was The Heart of Darkness. Now we've got the forum. Let us comment social media. Emails! The firearm. Okay, just have a look. We're gonna have a look at this cover again because it's just amazing. I love it. This is the back cover. Now this is the front cover. If you could see the smile on my face right now, it is big. His work is amazing. Jamie Johnson's work is amazing. Okay, we've got another Phantom comic to look at. It is issue number 1820. We've got 2 classics from Lee Falk and Cy Barry, plus 2 new brand sequels. Brand new sequels. New brand new sequels. Brand new sequels. New brand new sequels. 70th anniversary. This book was published in 2018. This first story was first published by Few Publications, issue number 274. 274. If you have a favorite Cy Barry story, comment that down below because his work is amazing. He turned 96 this year. He actually turned 96 this year, as I said, and his stuff is amazing. 30 years of making Phantom stories, and he's still going strong. Awesome. I think I remember reading this story, and I think I remember, and I feel like I really enjoyed this story. Really enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed this book. This book was one of my favorites of that year. 2018. Oof. I think the favorite part of this book was this. I was so amazed by this story, especially the first page. I was so amazed by this first page of the story. I loved it. Loved this story. Loved this one. Next one. Next one. That's the reason why I loved it. That is the reason why I get excited of them. That's the reason why I get excited of a fortnight. That is the reason why I love the Phantom. That is the reason why Massimino's art is so good. Penciler was Massimino Gambolea. Inker was Luca Giorgi. And the writer was Christopher Seguera. And then the editor was Glenn Ford. So good. Awesome. I think I miss seeing Massimino Gambolea's take on the Phantom. We haven't really seen much of him lately. I think the last time we saw Massimino Gambolea actually do some Phantom work was, I think it was 2020, because I've got it up here. It was 2020 last time we saw an artwork done by him, and I love his work. This story actually just makes his work look so good because the inker is Luca Giorgi. Luca Giorgi or Luca Giorgia? Luca Giorgi, I think it is. Don't worry, I have pronunciation problems. Everyone does. And just like that, we're into Cy Barry. Then we have another story, and a new story by the likes of A. Toradaro. first publication by Few Publications, number 1820. It was first published in 2018. Sort of actually does look like Cyberry work, but it's not. I don't think it is. I think it's Angelo Todaro. I think that's who it is. Mr. Walker? Huh? Look, 2 rainbows. What does that mean? Oh, people, remember, if the Phantom comes to destroy, there'll be a double rainbow in the sky. Not wrong there. Rainbows are cool, but the Phantom's even cooler. Stolen yachts found, pirates and their leader all captured. And just like that, we're into Ghost Artists. Thumbs up to all my Phantom friends. Cy Barrett, 2008. This interview was conducted by Andreas Eckerson on June the 7th, 2016. I think I remember. I think I did read this back then, because a lot of the articles that are published in this series, or in this book, or to do with Few Publications, I do read them. I read them. I always think those articles and the interviews that people do with certain people, when they include them into the Few Publications Phantom book, I think they're interesting, and I always love reading them. Always. And then we got a coloured painting of a Cy Barry original. 2016, he did that. And then we got a picture of Few's Glenn Ford, or is it his younger brother? Classic. With Cy Barry at Sydney Comic Con in 1997. Whew, have a look at that. Awesome. Glenn Ford would be the one that would be one of 3 that would take on the Phantom in Australia and keep publishing until this day. Look at that artwork. He's such a great artist, Massimino Gambolero is. He's so good. So good. That was the Phantom 1820. And if you enjoyed having a look at these Phantom comics on the 21st episode of the My Collections episode series, you can subscribe to Phantom Cave Reviews down below, and there will be more videos like this coming very, very soon to the